All right, ladies and gents, you're here with Vincent Valerio, aka Big Perm, on behalf of CEI Esports, and we have a special guest today on this episode of the podcast. We have Ev Mathurin from Unified Pro-Am / WR Pro-Am League / WR Select / SL Pro-Am. All the big-time community-ran leagues have come from this man right here, and a lot of people don't know this. I actually owe the start of my career to Ev. One of his leagues, and we'll get into that later on, is the reason how I got my shot to be in the community. So first off, Ev, how you doing today? How's everything going?
I'm great, man. Just taking everything one day at a time. Just trying to figure it all out.
All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time. So we're going to start off with a pretty simple one. We mentioned in the intro, you're the founder, creator of WR Pro-Am League, which I found out way after I should have, that it was the Willis Reed Pro-Am League. And now the bigger, conglomerate of leagues that we all know is Unified Pro-Am. What was the inspiration for WR Pro-Am League? I don't think I've ever asked you that question, even though I've known you for about 5 years now.
So WR began because I was good. I mean, in short, believe it or not, I was pretty good at 2K back in the day, man. 2K15. So my guy C's used to actually run Militia Gaming League.
Yeah.
So me and C's, he was a PG, I was a shooting guard, and basically we were going through the rec and destroying everyone. We go to this was 2K15, so it was the Jordan Rec Center.
Jordan Rec Center, right? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Jordan Rec Center. We would come in there and we would just, throw on NBA team jerseys, get 3 more guys, and we'd be a team. And we just go down, beating everybody. We'd go like 20-0 in a day, or whatever it was. So basically, we just couldn't be beaten. So then we got on Facebook, and we were looking for different levels of competition and seeing if if there were any groups where guys were competing. And so we actually joined a group which it had a lot of potential. So the group had a lot of potential. It was supposed to be a league, but so the guy he had some good ideas, but he just ran it like it was chaotic. It was no structure behind it. And then, so we said, you know what? Instead of trying to get in on this, let's make our own league. And then so that's when we came up with Willis Reed Rec Center League. And so Willis Reed, my guy C, he's from New York, and Willis Reed is a Knicks legend or whatever. And at that time, it was something fun. We didn't really I didn't anticipate it growing to anywhere where it is today at all. So we started off with the Willis Reed Rec Center League. It was, we started jumping from Facebook group to Facebook group, inviting different teams and different people. And then so by the time we launched, we started off with about 15 teams or 12 teams, something like that. But the unique thing about the, Willis Reed Rec Center League is actually the goal was to run it like the NBA. You would play games, and at the end of the night, your stats would be updated. So we had a website where everybody's stats were updated, and it was a lot of structure behind it. We had a set of rules. We were against cheesing, so back then it was, we had the demigods and things like that. And so the whole premise behind the league was, hey, you come here, you're going to compete in a well-ran, structured league, and that it was. And then just, like I said, we started off with 12 to 15 teams, and then just people started coming and joining, and then and it was free. It was free. So basically, you're just playing for bragging rights. And so, like I said, people were joining, and then it just became too much. It became too much to where we started having a waiting list, and we were.
That's what I was about to ask. How did you transition? Because now you said it started with 15 teams. If you want to flex a little bit, you could probably throw a number out of how many teams participate now in Unified Pro-Am.
It started off with, like I said, 12 to 15 teams. I don't remember the exact number, but then so we slowly increased it. It got to about 64, and then, like I said, it was just me and C's. So it got to be a bit much. You're getting 5 to 10 players per team, 64 teams, and that's 600 personalities you got to deal with. So we started cutting it off. We came up with a waiting list. So guys wanted to be in the waiting list. We have 64 teams. Then we had another waiting list with another 100 teams waiting. So
wow,
and then guys,
that's insane.
Mind you, this was free.
Still free. So, that's what I'm saying. It's still for bragging rights at this point. Yeah.
Still free for bragging rights. So guys start inboxing me. Hey, I got $100. Let me jump up to the front of the waiting list. I said, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly.
Another guy, 250, jumped to the front of the waiting list. I said, you know what? I think we have something here. So, and then that's when we really started taking it serious. And then but even with the waiting list, we still didn't charge. We didn't charge entry anything until about 2K17. So
wow, 2 years.
Yeah, wow. 2.5 years later, we didn't charge entry. We were just, just going with the free thing or whatever. But at that time when we decided to finally charge, it was like I said, we had a 100-team waiting list, we had 64 teams, and it was just at that when we decided to charge, we were well over the hundreds.
So now you're in 2K17, right? The 2K League ends up coming out in 2K18.
The year later. Yep.
Year later. Did you ever see it being a pipeline that it ended up becoming? Because a lot of people, like I mentioned beforehand, I would say almost now we're at a point where if you didn't play in a WR or Unified Pro-Am league, you probably are not, like, you're in the league, like you have to do that to be in the league, basically. It's a prerequisite in my eyes, right? So did you ever see that when the league first came out? Because I know you transitioned to now, you had the waiting list, you still weren't sure about charging. Did you see that being a pipeline to the 2K League, or was it still bragging rights even when the league first came out?
So it was at that time, well, once we saw the 2K League, we're like, well, this is it's inevitable. At that time it was NPBA and WR. We literally had the top tier of the comp. Otherwise, there were other smaller leagues. They've came and went, but at that time it was just WR was PS5, NPBA was Xbox.
Xbox.
So basically, when the league came out, it was like, hey, it's inevitable. The best teams on PS5 are here, or PlayStation PS4. It's PS4 then.
Yeah.
And then so it's basically like, hey, if you got to play here to be seen, that's basically what it was. You play here, we had the best stream numbers and things like that, so you had to play to be seen. So it wasn't thought of because I never really thought about working with the league, and then the opportunity just presented itself after that, and then that's when I was like, hey, we can definitely we can work, hand in hand with them and be the direct pipeline. It's not official, but we all know what's going on.
Yeah, no, for sure, and that's what leads me to my story of being, a lawyer who's transferred to being a gamer randomly at 28 years old. And I had nobody in the community. I didn't know Ev. I didn't know one person that played comp. And the way that I entered into the community was through WR Select. And, I know it's kind of gone and come back at certain points, but basically what WR Select is, for people who are listening, it's a draft league. I didn't know anyone. I paid a certain amount of money. I got entered into a pool. I played. I got picked up by a team. And on that team, I found someone who was in the community, who noticed that I was good. Long story short, that ended up starting my entry into the community and started my career, and ended up with me being in the NBA 2K League as well. So I think that I know you didn't say you knew it specifically would be a pipeline, but there was something like, this is it. And then the fact that you had structure, Ev, that's the thing that I think we're missing right now. And I know it's a little bit of we're coming back to the times now. That's the reason why you guys were successful in my eyes. The community is very, very unstructured sometimes. And even though it was only for bragging rights, you bring in just structure, look at people flock to it, and it became what we saw today. So I want to switch it up just a little bit, because we've been getting serious. We're getting to the real thick of things on the creation of Unified Pro-Am and WR. I want to ask you, was your favorite 2K15? Because that's when you were your best?
No.
Because I saw you play in the content creator admin game. You still got a little game. There's still a little game there. I see it.
My favorite 2K was 16.
Really?
16. So I was good at 15, I was good at 16, I was good at 17, and I just slowly tapered off. I could still play, I just don't have the time. But I have to say, 16, I don't think any 2K can top 16. 16 at that time, had its little issues, whatever. But when you really look at 2K16 overall, it had everything. The players, the builds, they were balanced.
Yeah.
You had the outside, inside, your balanced builds.
Exactly.
Overall, nobody was too over. The dribble moves weren't crazy. don't get me wrong. If you knew how to do it,
you could spam. You could spam.
It was nothing crazy. The shots weren't 100. You didn't have shot. If you could shoot, you could shoot.
Yeah.
But there was a skill gap between the shooters, though.
Do you have one specific moment that you remember from 2K16? Is there like a memorable game or something? Because I know at that point there's some clout, around. There's some people who are known at 16.
16, I won the King of the Reed. I was the King of the Reed champion. I was the MVP.
I knew. Even though you mentioned 15, I knew it was going to be a different game for 15, because I don't think anyone claims 15 as their favorite. Maybe they do. I don't know.
I like 15, but no, 15 was not. And then 16 introduced Pro-Am with the jerseys. The thing I like about 16, everyone can create a court with their own design, and all you have to do is join that person's court. And then, you're playing under whatever brand for however long you want. You didn't have to remove your team or nothing like that. It was so simple. The only issue was there was no private matchmaking.
Yeah.
If you see all the features that 2K24 has now with the replays and the in-game stats. That was in 2K16 minus the replay.
I know.
But as far as the breakdowns and the shot charts for Pro-Am, that was all in there. So it's really sickening to see them reintroducing something that's already been in the game in the past, but they decide to remove.
And it's new. It's new. Yeah.
Watch next year, they're going to come out with, hey, now you're able to shoot around. Like, you weren't doing it the last 5 years. So,
No, see, if they do, we said it here first. If they put shooting back in the Pro-Am gym next year in 2K25, you're not slick. But let's go back. I want to go back into Unified Pro-Am. So just you could talk a little bit about your thought process, because we went to 2K17. We talked about 2K18. The league comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your time from when WR, how it became something where people started paying, to the ultimate decision to transfer to Unified Pro-Am, like just, as concisely as you can.
Well, basically, when people started paying for WR, our goal was pretty much to get the best players, and then also really to get the biggest prize pools. So, I mean, like, if you don't know, WR, we've had, like, this is like strictly as far as crowdfunded. Yeah. We've had $15,000 seasons, $12,000 seasons, 10. We have multiple, seasons with this amount. Obviously 250 teams, 300 teams per console. I don't know the exact numbers right now, but it's somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? So that was our claim to fame. Well, my claim to fame was, hey, you playing WR, you're going to get. You're going to get set amount of money. You're going to play against the best. You're going to make a nice piece, a nice piece of change. I think the goal was when we transitioned to like UPA with the live events it was a couple goals, honestly. It was because around that time there were a lot of different pop-up leagues which were robbing people, stealing from the community. When guys would enter leagues and then not get paid. Like you play a whole season, $100 entry. You're supposed to get $3,000 at the end of the month or whatever. League takes the money, disappears. This was happening. I mean, there was even a league which was owned by a professional, a rapper, and they had a prize pool, and they said obviously there were rules broken, but they never put that information out there. So guys were, they had a $5,000 prize pool. It was knocked down to $2,500 because rules were broken, but that should have been disclosed to begin with. But regardless, basically UPA came together. One of the reasons was to provide a safe space. Like, hey, you play here, you're going to get your money. You're going to, we're going to do everything the right way. You're protected. And that's what it was. That's why originally we had WR, we had MPBA, we had Prestige Area, a famous league.
Yeah, famous, yeah.
That was the original thing behind it. And then obviously, I don't know, things happened with him or whatever. And, we continued without him. Yeah. But, it was basically like, hey, these leagues right here represent UPA, and these leagues are a safe space where you're going to play. Yeah. You're guaranteed to get your money. You're guaranteed to get the looks. You're guaranteed to see the coaches and the gyms and everything.
It's another level of structure. Level of structure. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the whole goal behind it was literally to beat the NCAA to the 2K league. That was the whole goal behind it. So, and then, I mean, we even presented it to them as somewhat like that. Yeah. Obviously, we're not there yet, but
you're close. You're closer than you think.
That's been, that was the thing right there. UPA is going to be the structure for the community. We're going to make sure you're protected. We're going to make sure you get the money you deserve. We're going to make sure you get the eyes they need to see you to go to the next level.
That's huge, though. That's huge. Mm-hmm. That's huge, though, Ev, because this is not something that's only 2K. There are scammers in every community. Exactly. There are people who are looking to make a quick buck in any gaming community. So if you whoever's watching this, if you see that it started as something very organic, just something for bragging rights, that naturally did it based on the community involvement that was shown. They all had the interest of playing together for for a large amount of money, but it's the structure. It's the guarantee that you enter that league. First off, there's rules. There's people admins that handle, scheduling conflicts, stuff like that, and the guarantee that you'll get paid, because I've had it happen to me. It is one of the worst things when you play up till 4 a.m. in these tournaments, and then all of a sudden, the person who's supposed to pay you disappears. So, guys, no matter what game you play, make sure the leagues you join are accredited, have vouchers, are by people that love the game and do it for the love of helping out the community. So exactly. I just wanted to put that in there. So, Ev, I'm gonna end it off with 2 more questions. But the first one I want to ask you is, what is the impact that you think you've had on the NBA 2K community?
I mean, so obviously it's like we said, the security. It's guaranteed. Don't get me wrong. We don't do the overnight pay. You win at 4
Yeah.
a.m. You're gonna get paid at 5:50. That's nuts. We have paperwork and everything like that.
W-9s.
Because, exactly, legality. We got
Yeah,
to cover
yeah.
our butts at the end of the day. So you're not gonna get that. But at the end of the day, you're gonna get. You're secure or whatever. I think it's. I would say UPA is like a standard. It's like a standard for outside of having the live events. It's like a standard. You know how often I get guys in my DMs. Hey, I want to start my own league, and can we use your rules? Of course. I mean,
Yeah,
go ahead.
of course. Yeah.
As long as you take out our name out of those rules, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You can start your own league and bash us for all I care. But just know at the end of the day, you are using our rules.
Yeah.
So, but I just think it's a standard. It's a standard, and then when it comes to WRUPA, and it's just uh it's longevity. We represent longevity. We've been doing this almost 10 years.
I know. It's
You know?
crazy. It's
Yeah, it's
crazy to
crazy.
think about. Yeah.
Exactly. It's nuts, man. So it's just a standard. It's a safe space, and then like longevity. No one's been doing this longer than us, and honestly, I don't think anyone's gonna do it this long.
So, Ev, final question here. We have the upcoming UPA tournament in Foxborough, December 15th through 16th. Is there anything that you want to highlight for people who are participating and viewers that might be tuning in?
The main thing I want to highlight, this is going to be the first time where UPA collaborates with the NBA 2K League. I mean, we've been collaborating with the NBA 2K League for years, but now it's official. So this year, we will actually be doing the NBA 2K League Combine in person. We actually had a combine in Dallas last year, which was in person as well, but it was very small scale. This year, and obviously it was a proof of concept. So this year, or this go around, we're actually going to have the NBA 2K League Combine before the UPA tournament. So where you're going to be having the 5v5 games with other draft eligible players, as well as to interview with coaches and GMs and other things of the sort. So it should be a unique experience. And also, if certain players are not available, we can also pull guys from the UPA tournament to come join the combine to see something they can get into.
Yeah. Let's turn it up.
So
We're
with
going to turn
that,
up the intensity a little bit. We're going to turn
exactly.
it
So with
up.
that being said, it's a unique experience in that regard, and then that's going to be streamed on the UPA channel as well as the NBA 2K League channel.
Yeah. So that
So
would be
you'll
on
be able
Unified Pro-Am,
to,
on Twitch. Also, NBA 2K League on Twitch. That's huge, Ev. That's a huge announcement. I know we talked a lot about leading up, trying to work with them. This is the first step, and I'm really glad that it's happening on one of your events. The only thing you didn't mention is how much money is on the line. That's how I know you're excited to work with the 2K League.
Yeah, 30,000, man.
Oh, man.
We have
Okay.
30,000 for the New England tournament. We really wanted to be able to do somewhere around 50K or higher, but it's just a matter of sourcing sponsors, sponsors and partners. Because we had that 100K in Philadelphia. That one was crazy. That one was crazy. And
that was crazy. Yeah.
When it comes to money, we really want to stay within that 50 to 100K range.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we can only afford what we can afford with, who we're dealing business with. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, if we have, the next one, if we get to 50, 100K, then that'd be great. But right now, 30K, the sum, it might not seem like a lot, but keep in mind, you're playing a video game for one weekend for $30,000.
Now, listen, if anyone here is scoffing at 30K, you got to come talk to me. And
Exactly.
I'll be at your next event. Ev, I appreciate you for stopping by on this podcast episode. You're a legend in the community. You're an OG in the community, and I owe you the start of my career, so I appreciate it. Everyone who tuned in, we appreciate you. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.